Hello, Days of Our Lives fans. This is for Tuesday, October the 8th. Please like, subscribe, and share if you know someone who enjoys the show. Well, Chanel was taking a shortcut through the park or something. She bent over to tie her shoe and she felt a twinge in her back. So Kayla finds her sitting on the bench, barely can move, and this is her first day of shooting for Body and Soul. So Kayla's like, I'm taking you to the emergency room. And she's like, oh, do you really think I need to go? And she can't even stand up. And Kayla's like, yeah, I think you need to go. So she takes her on off to the emergency room, of course, to get x-rays and all that jazz. And meanwhile, Hattie runs into Leo, and she's giving him the business. And by the business, I mean she's jumping down his throat. You wrote me out. I'm never going to eat pork rinds with you on your bed again. And he's like, oh, no, don't say that. I've already stocked up on the pork rinds. And she's like, well, I think they bloat me. And he says, they do. They are bloating you. So that was their little stupid conversation, which I love their little banter, though. So he's telling her he's sorry. It comes from the big dogs. And the big dogs are Kate and Abe. So she's still not letting him off the hook. She has to shoot her last scene today. Well, in comes Bonnie with a head bigger than this whole city. I do not like Bonnie anymore. I don't like her in this role. I just don't like her. I'm pissed off that she's so pushy and pushing Hattie out of a job. I don't know. I just don't like her. I think she's got a little soft spot for Hattie. Excuse me. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But her loud, obnoxious attitude, I don't even like that as a character, man. Okay. So she goes making all these demands. Well, with Hattie gone, I guess there's some extra cash, so you could pay me a little more. And Kate said, how about we don't pay you at all? How about we get rid of Cassandra? And she's like, oh, okay, I'll just step out. Like something silly that she is. So Kate, gives her the lowdown on, you ain't getting nothing extra. You better be thankful you got a job, girl. Okay, so today's their first day shooting, and of course there we have Bonnie being Cassandra or whoever, and Hattie's missing, but she finally shows up, and they have already let her know that they're getting rid of her. So everyone's on the set. This guy that runs the hospital, what was his name? Mr. something. But anyway, he told Kayla he's been bit by the acting bug. He wouldn't mind acting, all the time. So here they are doing their scene, and Hattie is supposed to shake her hand on wiping the slate clean and then step to the left into the elevator, but she refuses to do it. She tries to get Cassandra to go with her, the doctor, and then she turned around and said, y'all can write Hattie off. I can't stop you from doing that, but I'm not going to help you do it. And she stormed off. Meanwhile, Stephanie, Alex here's in a little bit of a bind because Chanel's going to be late, and he asked Stephanie to run lines with him. This is that love scene, L-U-V. So she's like, yeah, sure, because she's all silly-headed about him now. So they go and they start running lines, and they got some intense friction going on between them. And you guessed it. They get carried away in their lines, and you think they're getting ready to get jiggy, and you would be right if you thought that. So they get jiggy. Johnny goes to go in the room, and this guy stops him, the play doctor that's a real doctor, and says, oh no, they're getting real jiggy in there. I wouldn't go in there. And he goes in, and of course it's Stephanie and Alex being the jiggiest they've been in a while. But that's not what, Johnny doesn't see the side shot like we do. This is what Johnny sees. And it went off with him like being, oh, yeah, there he was. I don't know if he's going to say anything or not. Anyway, Hattie goes over to give the big dogs a piece of her mind, and she's telling them that she's going to curse them all. She's going to put a curse on Body and Soul and all the actors and any progress they would make. I'm going to curse you all. And it's funny because, well, it's not funny. It was written on purpose. Chanel said earlier, she's like, oh, it's like I've got a curse on me or something. Talking about her back. Anyway, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for watching.